versatility and also the ult. But ultimately, I just think having that paranoia, being able to set up a little bit more, I think is going to benefit them quite a bit. Again, though, I do think we need to see quite a bit from that double duelist. Meteor and Texture, they are both insanely strong on these duelists, but so is Nobody. And he's going to go almost immediately. Does take one with him, though.
Well, the Fnatic Classic finds one as Concon escapes with his life. They made it here in some way. They're living on. Well, let's see if he can find any more with his low HP. He's actually going back out to aggress for some information. This is a risky play, but he's cleared a lot of control, but it's up close Munchkin that I'm worried about. As the peak comes through, nice connection, down to 47, but Munchkin finding that kill keeps him alive for the clutch. The 1 versus 2 that he finds himself in, a 3K to close this one out, and the first player he has to deal with is up in heaven. He hasn't realized that, and so that will be his downfall. With a defuse coming through from the Omen on EDG, it's 1-0.
Team A.
Solid start from them once again, and I think this is the thing. They're always going to be pushing and pulling around, especially on that A site. We saw that multiple times yesterday from Nobody, always happy to get up in his opponent's faces. And I think this map is the one where he might be most comfortable individually. Like, we saw him have a really poor performance, come onto this map and just be unbelievable. So not a great sign after he's just had a very good map, and now going onto this as well. And I think for GENG, just one of the main worrying factors here was obviously coming into this map, they are starting on the attack side. Now, normally you'd look at this composition and go, oh, well, that's fine. You've got double duelist, you've got the sort of explosive nature of this composition, but they had a really rough time the last couple of times they played on the attack. In fact, even in a 13-11 match, they only got 2 rounds on attack.
Well, this should be an easy farming round, with GENG just left down to pistols. An opportunity for them to get a little bit done there, but no shots connected with just the one falling of Haodong. A good opportunity to build the economy. Seems to be just around the corner. There has been a retrieval. Charon posing a little bit of a threat with the Bulldog, but his HP is being chipped away at. Down to 70 now. Good flash. The flank of Nobody has caught Munchkin completely off guard. Cleaned up on this B site. EDG find their second. Here's the real challenge, though, as GENG pull out their rifles.
Yeah, they've gone quite heavy into the Bulldogs, though. Clearly feeling confident that they can get it done with these weapons, so it's not going to be the worst purchase in the world. Still a lot of opportunities for them to try and find something in. Nobody going to go onto the Stinger, and honestly, I'm happy to see it. That said, he's very good at getting up close in their face, and this is where we get to see if they can get off to that flying start, because let's be real. In the last map, Lakia had a Howler, and for the most part, Texture got shut down. They're 2 players that are going to have to be impactful here, because Lakia has a lot of the setup utility that they're going to be running. And well, Texture is Texture. He needs to be fragging.
Well, this is it, right? Again, we mentioned Texture wasn't necessarily as hot as we were expecting on the previous map. Lakia, I mean, it's unlucky. He's going to have that video made about him on Twitter. Nobody had it yesterday, the day before. Now it's his turn, I suppose. Hopefully not 2 maps in a row, though, as we know what Lakia is capable of. GENG up close, but it's Concon having pushed through the wall that will find the kill. A blast pack down to deter further aggression, and he's out scot-free. Advantage for EDG, which is so valuable in a round like this.
Yeah, they already managed to win the bonus in the last map. Bear that in mind. That was the 5-0 start that they had. Haodong just trying to play with his opponents, and a little bit of space being taken. Chichu, oh, he got the timing spot on. Means he's going to just push them back. 40 seconds left, and as of right now, GENG have no control. They're only just making their way into mid. Like, this is such a slow attempted take. It's getting very, very scary for them, and they even still had a nade on the other side to deter them even more.
Smoggy still got the stun in back pocket as well, but it's not going to be used till they dive onto site. By the looks of things, Haodong spotted and now challenged by Munchkin. Good kill found, but it's Concon that's returning like for like. Nade down is perfect. It's not going to be planted anytime soon, and time is running out. Just 6 seconds left with Nobody all alone. He's not able to deny. Plant going down, but he knows where both players are, at least roughly. Snuck his way past around the back of the site. They don't know that just yet, but I like the idea to group up together, and Charon, before the heal even comes through, closes the round out. 2-1, costly, good damage from EDG, and great potential for them to have won that.
Yeah, I think that's the scariest prospect is KhanKhan's nade could have finished it. If he lands the shot, he could have finished it. But GENG do manage to hold on and at least convert the round this time. They're not out of the woods yet, though, because as mentioned, that was a bonus. That was Bulldogs and a Stinger. Now they come in with the full rifles, one off a Showstopper as well. So Ultimate's definitely closer to coming online. And those duelists are still yet to show up over on the GENG side. It's early days, but it can't go on for too much longer.
Again, that's the anti-bonus round coming out from GENG. 2 players left standing. Their economy is going to be chipped away at, as we can see. There's 3 players very low on credits, and the big problem being that EDG close to having a very valuable ultimate. All we need is KhanKhan to find an orb or a kill, and he's been pretty consistently finding at least the one in some rounds. So massive safety net potentially there for them later on. GENG early challenge, good damage on the one player that can't be healed back up. And they're happy with that. Yeah, they've deterred some aggressive control and started to move towards middle. The only thing, Tom, is that there was a flash that just popped by nobody. It saw no one was there.
Yeah, and
the Tiger goes through. No one else here. That's a lot of information. And with the Tiger not being heard by GENG, they don't know how much of a read EDG have on their current play.
They've been so good at this. Similarly on Icebox, just being able to get so much information and then just play off of it. They're going to have 2 players watching into mid, 2 players on the B site. Looking at Howdong as well. Look, they've even got the stun at the back, 2 flashes, a paranoia. Like, they have so much utility for this take-in already, though. Great start. Meteor, even while blinded by the paranoia, is going to be able to find one, and he gets the second as well. The duelist finally coming alive, but here comes that Showstopper. They have to back out. There's only 20 seconds left. Any time that could be bought could be paramount. It's done so much damage. 21. And well, now the HP healing back up onto Charon. He's going to TP to the other side of the map, but look how close nobody is. A flash just to try and catch him. He's going to be able to get the plant in, but look at where the rest of the players are. They've got to go sprinting to try and get back in here. It is shaky from Chiju. I don't think it's going to matter, though. There's nothing they can do to stop this. It's a very peculiar round, and it ends with a Red Bull clutch.
Just some good old hard yakka, standing in between us and victory.
Well, Tom, this has unfortunately swung back the way that we feared it would.
Player standing.
EDG finding the round in a very unusual manner, considering the TP. I mean, it was a last-second attempt to get that spike down. It wasn't going to find its way to the B site, that's for sure.
Well, the thing is, they're not baiting out any of the utility. Like, I'll be honest, what Meteor got away with there while being paranoid is a lot more than I was expecting. They still had all of Breach's kit, all of Howdong's kit on Omen as well. Yeah. I think all that was used was nobody's utility. And sure, it doesn't come back anymore, but that you need to be getting rid of some of that util at some point in the round before you go running in with 30 seconds left. This is disgusting.
Yeah, no way you expect this. Reacting to it? Well, apparently is easy enough.
All right.
Texture just tanked a shotgun to the face. Chinchu's got a 50-50. If he checks left, no! Oh, Munchkin! A chance for more as well. The shots didn't land, but well, this has been a bit of an unusual start to things. EDG have the advantage in rounds, but not in this one. The man advantage was to GENG. Now it's just right about even with a rifle recovered by Lakia and movement towards this A site, but TP in. Howdong's in position to stop them from easily walking into this A site, and he's checking heaven. Lakia needs to win this fight on the way out. In fact, timing will be a key factor for him. The flash goes towards the elbow. It seems like he's safe to cross with EDG too far away to do anything at this point with Smoggy still in spawn.
Again, the time getting a little bit low, but the aftershock won't be placed before anything else can be done. Lakia still having his Tiger. Oh, he is going to be able to spot the man in the corner. Howdong, though, not stunned up. It doesn't matter. Even still, comes back into the trade. Smoggy, with his full belt of utility, still online. Hasn't had to use any of it just yet. But instead, he's going to potentially just go walking through this smoke. And Lakia, the man who was silent on the last map, speaks loud in this round as GENG get their second.
2 big kills from him, denying the vent control and then closing out the round as well. This is what we wanted to see. Lakia waking up, finding his form, finding his footing, as it's 3-2, a 1-round gap between them. And again, looking at how some of these rounds have gone down, you know, in the previous map, it was feeling pretty much favored to EDG from the get-go. after the the first 5 rounds, essentially. They didn't really take their hands off the reins. Here, though, GENG are already punching back.
Yeah, they managed to do it with a low buy as well. The pistols finding a lot of value, and that success could make all the difference. They've already realized that nobody's close, and while having that judge, you really don't want to pressure into this man just yet. Interestingly, you've got the lurk out from Meteor on the other side of the map, but it does seem like EDG are fairly happy to just sit passive. And that's the thing, as said, I don't feel like GENG have done a fantastic job of baiting out any of the utility from the side of EDG in these early rounds. This time, though, Paranoia not online, but they still have all of Viper's util, and in this case, the wrong read.
Yeah, even though the bird just went up from nobody and caught those players outside B, again, the problem's always going to be it could just be one player, one person lurking, catching that flash and running straight to A. But
giving him a smoke.
As we can see, this isn't how it's playing out. The judge, it could do a hell of a lot of damage up close like this, but the smoke is suspicious. They know there's something afoot, and Texture's dealt with it perfectly, well handled by GENG, and that's the real threat in this round dealt with already.
Yeah, when you put out a smoke like that, there's going to be a part of you that's thinking, okay, there has to be someone within it. And I like the fact that GENG play it safe. Boombot and Seekers gives everything away. They know that the site is clear, and that's the thing. They haven't had a lot of rounds, even throughout the series thus far, that have been particularly clean. Now, though, what can be found from EDG on the way back in? Probably not a lot. Smoggy at least will be able to find one, drop an extra weapon, but other than that, expectations desperately low, and Karen's taking a little bit of damage, but he'll fade out of there before his life is lost. For Smoggy now, the value might actually come from going down to the spike.
Yeah, that's definitely the game plan for him. As another round swings to GENG. And again, I like their usage of their ultimate. Lakia puts out the Seekers just to confirm there's a player close in that smoke. They have a Boombot following it up. It allowed them the perfect timing to swing in on the back of that utility and catch a player repositioning around the corner. At 3-3, it really is anyone's game. And that was my worry, was that we'd come into this map after the first being pretty dominant in favor of EDG, and we would see this be a very quick evening. I think at the very least we're owed a close map between these two teams, if not a third one.
Well, normally EDG are stellar when it comes to this defensive side, so... And as said, GENG had some rough times when it came to their attack, so this is already a pretty decent start from them. If they can keep things even throughout, I think they'll be quite content. Already a fantastic start. Meteor has been great throughout the series on an individual level. That's a little audacious, though. Trade out with the showstopper will keep it in their favor, and Kanka just goes through! The movement's sublime. And now just looks to try and get a little bit more. The Rolling Thunder's going to leave Texture completely stunned up, but he hasn't been spotted. One bullet is all he needs, but Kankan's there again. A third kill for him already, and he needs the ace. He's going to look to try and get it half, but he's completely blinded. Already baiting them out. A second flash, and there is no hope. I've seen that one before, Mitch, but it won't happen this time.
Yeah, thankfully not. Second flash, immediate peek, and you can see he just had nothing to do unless the spray landed on heads right away. It was done and dusted.
Somewhere someone from Giant X is going, no, no, don't peek him.
Well, considering a 4-3 scoreline and 3 ultis online, Viper's Pit to play with as well, this was a big round for GENG because they've left their opponents with no money, no credits to buy back up. It's going to be a scrappy buy for the defensive side. And so far, we've seen GENG be very clinical with dealing with these lower buys. They've not been giving away too much. They have a healthy economy because of it. They'll look to farm up an even better one right here and now.
Okay, then. There's the Meteor we know and love. A lot of the time, we don't see him get to play that star duelist anymore, but with this 1-2 punch of him and Texture on this map, they are really starting to come alive. We mentioned him and Texture as clinical pieces to this puzzle. Carol, though, already just mowing down 2 of the remainder. Howdong not particularly close to the angle and the action. Again, it just comes down to can he make this one costly, but the fact is the economy now of GENG is off the charts. You win an eco and then have a couple of cleaner rounds. He's still actually killed the player behind through the other. It's a couple of guns lost, but ultimately for the side of GENG, it doesn't matter. They are stacked for cash.
Yeah, and even one of the players we saw there before we cut to the replay was Meteor. He had a Judge, but he managed to upgrade to a rifle, and, well, with the economy that they have in play, there's not really going to be too much bother. Well, it's unsurprising. In the previous map, we had GENG call both of their timeouts towards the end of the game before things ticked over into EDG's favor. This time, it's EDG getting off to an early start. They want to have a chat with the coaching staff and come to a conclusion on how they want to run this next round, because again, they're going to be buying down to their last credits, and that's going to put GENG in a very advantageous position if they find this one. Facing into an eco, it could be 7 rounds already.
Yeah, I think as well, when you look at what's online for your opponent, you don't want to allow them to get into an afterplant. Having that Viper's Pit online for Munchkin is going to make things desperately more difficult if you're unable to deny. And also you have a showstopper onto KanKan, so you can go for some of those set plays, put him into position. He has been thriving still, at least on an individual level, but over the last few rounds, I feel like GENG have just been a little bit quicker in the pace. They've not allowed them to hold util to the late rounds. They've been taking control, and also they're just looking a bit more confident in what they're doing. Like, you can see Meteor committing to these early fights and everybody following him in. That seems to be what's working, at least for now. Now let's see where the response lies. By the looks of it, they might be about to go for another fairly aggressive piece, as they've got no luck. That's something we've consistently seen for GENG, as they now look to take some early control towards this B side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, they have no control anywhere else, so there's not much of a backup plan here. The showstopper, well, that's plan A, and it hasn't worked out. Those players slowed down, sure, split, but they've already got players towards the site. Meteor's in position, teammates coming in to rally alongside him, and the retake attempt from EDG, it's not going too well. Kills swinging in favor of GENG, trade after trade, and a 3 versus 2. Lakia, 4 health, but there's not exactly too much they can do to take him down. If he's hit him in those corners, maybe Chichu needs a miracle snake bite to land. And it could come in off the back of the plant. It's Lakia attempting the plant, but they don't know just how low he is. Viper's Pit activated, and that's going to even the playing field a little bit.
It was so close to taking him down, but now Meteor in the right place at the right time. He's going to clear out both of them. The direct approach just working out perfectly for GENG, unable to slow them down, unable to stop them. I want to say as well, I think there was some gorgeous movement in there from Texture. I don't think there was a lot else in that round, but the showstopper's fired towards him, and he just backs out of there immediately off a blast pack, just flies backwards into the corner, and it hits nobody. That's the perfect thing for the side of GENG. They've dodged the showstopper, and that's the one thing that was really dangerous. KanKan in the right place at the right time. He was there, he got nothing.
That's it, but hey, that ain't gonna happen too many more times from what we've seen. Thank their lucky stars as we go 6-3. GENG doubling up on the scoreline now. Look at, oh no, never mind, look at this aggression coming out of Texture. He's running it down towards Vence, and he has certainly chased KanKan to the other side of the map. an impressive pace change from GENG, and now they've got full mid control.
Scout destroyed.
Again, it seems like EDG have their players positioned well, and these are some of the rounds that worked out better for them. These slower paced rounds from GENG, it's been the quick moves in towards the site that have worked better for them. In terms of ultimates, not a whole lot online either. A Viper's Pit for Chichu, but where to place it will be the real problem, and starting to throw out some utility in towards this B site, but I can only assume with where their players currently sit, this is a ruse, and it's worked. It's pulled at least KanKan for the moment, but that stun is sublime. Now they'll have an extra player in to support. Nobody already watching, but he doesn't get either. Luckily, KanKan is there.
Oh, and so is Chichu. Good shot to start and a follow-up. That's sublime. 21 HP left. He's in danger, but he's got 2 players close to back him up. And with 20 seconds left, it's time to get that spike planted for GENG. The last player standing will take Chichu down, but still 3 more, 15 seconds left. And surely this plant cannot be acquired. He'll tap it first to try and fade into a fight that doesn't go his way. 4 rounds for EDG. It's a resurgence. It's another foot in the door. But GENG have been looking good, and because of the rounds they've won, there's not going to be any thought of an eco for the rest of this half.
Oh no, not even remotely close. again, though, it does seem like when they split up and play these slower rounds, a lot of the time it ends up biting them in the back. I think just sticking together and just playing as almost a death ball has been one of the major sort of benefits for them. I also think as well, props need to be given to Smoggy. The stun there was just completely game-changing. Viper's Pit, though, immediately put down after what has been some tough executes for them to deal with on that side of the map. They're just going to section it off completely.
Well, the pings here from the attacking side seem to be going in towards the spawn. I don't know what play we're about to have come through, but I'm excited to see it. It looks like they want to end towards the A site, and okay, pings go back towards Heaven. Instead, that's going to be the play. Split Heaven, put pressure on this A site, and have your lurker, this time it's Meteor, to pick them up as they start to rotate back.
I've got your trail.
It's a nice idea. See how the execution goes with Seekers confirming the players are here. You can easily see those rotates come through. That's the idea that Meteor is playing off of. Look at this shift back towards Heaven. They're ready to reunite, but Meteor can't go down. He has to maintain this control. Thought about walking into spawn. Instead, it's the sight on the back of a flash, a dash, now up close to the pit, and as Chichu thinks about going outside of it, that could be the end of his life if he did. It's all down to timing. He's won the first, but that's all he gets.
Yeah, really nice trades. Lakia was well aware, and in fact, Meteor almost gets to kill himself. Kankan, though, you can't give this man that much space. Quickly takes two. This round is starting to fall apart. They know exactly where Texture is, but can't quite connect onto him. The Tyke's gonna go through, but he runs through on the other side into the 1v1, but it's still Kankan. They just can't deal with this man. Again and again, he pulls off rounds that he shouldn't. And EDG, well, somewhat luckily, do get ever closer.
A sensational play by Texture. That almost won them the round, just blitzing through the smoke.
It should have won them the round.
It should have. It absolutely should have, if not for this man. That's gorgeous, and the return was straight through the smoke.
One enemy
That's
remains.
just disgusting.
Okay, running through the smoke, that's even worse. But it works, and if it works, it works. 6-5, EDG in prime position to equalize coming out of this. That's what we like to see, getting heated down there. Showstopper online for both sides. This should be an interesting one. It's right off rip, both are used, and Texture! A double kill, but there's still one man standing, not anymore. This is Texture's round.
Yeah. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Spike planted.
Now, well, for the remaining players, what do you even do? You've just lost the entirety of your B defense. Everybody was here waiting for this play to come through. Counter utility used to deny anything. That was the thing, the aftershock cleared a player out of position. It didn't matter. The paranoia wasn't even utilized in that initial take. To find any space here is gonna almost rely on a mistake, and well, you know what? Somehow Smoggy has made this interesting. It won't matter though. He started this round and he will end it. Texture one-ups his opposing Rays.
Switching sides.
Oh, we had both showstoppers, Tom, but only one got to be fired. That is absolutely gorgeous for Texture, disrupting the plan of his opponents and getting ahead by just an inch, just a second. That's all he needed. And a gorgeous ace to add to Gen G's momentum. Now 7 rounds at the half. They're leading and moving over to their defense. I'm excited to see what they've got in store for us, but what we've got in store for you is a halftime analyst desk. Take it away, guys.
7-5 in favor of Gen G this time, and you can kind of see the team waking up. You can see their energy rising as well, which is great because it is time for our Verizon high-speed moment of the match, Mimi.
Yeah, absolutely. I think map number 1, Gen G, bitch. They weren't really awake. They were getting ran over. But coming into this map, they look reinvigorated. Their players in particular, like Meteor in this clip, were looking so much better. And also just their approach to the game. They're again playing these slow, very proper mid-rounds on the attacking side. But I think they did a good job at finding the opportunities against EDG. And these double dive XX were tearing EDG up.
Exactly, and we saw it especially on the last round with that ace. I think that, of course, for Gen G is not going to be easy now moving it onto the defense. We're seeing a lot of aggression. We're seeing a lot of mistakes and a lot of punishment coming from both of the teams. But I think that it's so based on individuality and some BS rounds, like the one where CanCan just gets the kill across the smoke after a brilliant play and push. And I think that it's kind of concerning, right, that this is what it's going to come to.
Absolutely. I think in the second half, EDG have a great chance at coming up back into this.
Yes.
They're playing this double initiator that is built around enabling Kung on the dive. We saw earlier Zekken playing on this map, absolutely eating up on Raze. This con plays pretty similarly, where there's a lot of tools being put into one player succeeding, into getting space on those sites. And if GENG are making some of those same mistakes of Icebox on their defense, if giving these early opportunities to EDG, it could go a similar direction.
EDG, they're one half away from making it again into those playoffs. They have to make us dream, Mika.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to start dreaming. Let's get the second half underway. Back over to our casters, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you so much to our wonderful analyst desk for what could be one last time. As EDG on their attack side look to close out this series up against GENG, it's their map pick. You know they're going to be comfortable on the attack. Remember, that means that GENG chose to start on their attack side. Maybe it's the best of what they've got planned already behind them.
It went well. Oh. Hello. I'm stuck on something.
I'm stuck on nobody.
Help me wait, what? Either way, we are going to have
We'll just breeze right past that one, I suppose.
the flash coming in. Nobody looking to take the space. Been a little bit quieter this time around.
Yeah, not as pacey, that's for sure. EDG still just toying with that map control. It looks like they'll be taking the fight eventually, and it's CanCan and Smoggy to find the openings. Heaven completely under their control, or so they think. There is a fill back in by Meteor, but, well, it doesn't look like EDG have decided on where they're going. The spike is still in spawn, checking for a flank. And they're just waiting for GENG to make that move to re-clear the space. Player spotted up close, stun is good. And he's only bought himself a second as that smoke fades. Chichu lands this shot. Texture on 45, in a lot of trouble. Emerging from the smoke element, surprise! How has he gotten all three? He was 45, now 15 HP, with nobody, all alone. The frenzy up close in heaven. He has thread the needle beautifully for that one. And with Texture being on 15 HP, to be honest, after what I just saw, it's anyone's game, but 14 seconds left. Nobody has to be so quick. And look at Texture, he's already here. This could decide it. If he can speed his way through heaven, he might get the angle just after the plant. It all depends on where nobody's looking, and the wrong way! Texture's got 4! The pistol goes to GENG. This guy's insane!
I've had there've been a lot of plays the last couple of days on this map in particular that have left me speechless. I have no idea how he manages 3 kills here. Like the last 2 especially. Like that's better than anything you could ever dream to get from that position.
4 bullets, Tom! 4 bullets and he gets 3 kills on 45 HP!
Look at him go!
Give it to him! Oh, that's wonderful.
We are in for a treat. The 2 Raze players in this match at the moment have basically been competing for who can make the most audacious play of the day. Well, that was a round that should have been for EDG, but for that man. And already, him and Meteor are showing why we talk about this double duelist coming into this map. If they were going to win this, if they were going to compete, they had to be fantastic. And you know what? They're doing all right.
All right is an understatement. You know, what we've seen so far, individuals are coming online.
Forsaken set the bar.
Hey, listen, that's a bar that I think only he can jump over. But, well, with 9 to 5 on the board, GENG may well have that 3rd map locked and loaded for us. Breeze in the back of EDG's mind. But the forefront is the fact that it's only a 4-round gap. It's recoverable on the side of EDG.
It's definitely a long road back.
I think not helped by the fact that Texture got so many kills and is now 1 away from the showstopper.
And also the other kills all went to Meteor, which puts him a few away from a Blade Storm. So even if this goes badly, if he gets 1 or 2 kills and dies, that could be enough. They've actually got a great read as well. 3 players set up, Tiger through. Now there is a judge coming out from CanCan. The push through on the other side, but the trades have come in. kept things in their favor. They don't expect Meteor to be here. Why would you? Another man pushing into mid, and Karen's there alongside him. GENG could give themselves a massive boost if they could take this round away, and well, Smoggy, he has now got some serious weight to carry. 3 players, Spike in mid, and they have a decent idea of where he's coming from, and his opponent's picked up a judge.
Yeah, picked up a judge and is sitting inside a smoke, so very best of luck to Smoggy here. Blind spray is probably his best chance.
He could stun all of them.
True, but he doesn't want to give it away. It's a contact play into a judge, and he got the contact he was looking for. 10-5, double digits for GENG. Showstopper online, Bladestorm close, and 3 rounds needed to pull this across the line. Oh, also EDG on an eco. So add up all those things, and it seems like it's a pretty hefty advantage towards the defensive side right now.
Yeah, I'll be honest, this game has not gone anywhere near the way I was expecting it to go, and yet it has been incredibly enjoyable.
Well, you did say you expected a map 3, but
Not in this order.
yeah, the other way around.
The journey's the journey hasn't gone as planned, but we might reach the same destination.
Exactly. Somehow, we've taken
Just
a
like
detour.
you and your scooter.
This city's a little confusing sometimes. The GPS doesn't work. Nice shot by Meteor, doubled up on as well. The Outlaw putting in work in this round to control middle. And for EDG, you know, this is somewhere they have been dangerous before. We said it in the last map. When they've got pistols, they were able to upset a lot of opposition. But GENG seemed to have a real handle on it, never letting these disadvantageous rounds slip out of their control.
This has genuinely become a race for who's going to be #1 on the scoreboard between Texture and Meteor. Kankan is still like in a close 3rd place, but those two have started to just completely run away with this one. But, you know, he's always terrifying. Guardian gets him a first. Now, he's actually a couple away. 1 more kill, even if he goes down. He's so quick with it. A single bullet is all he needs. A plant is actually going to give him a showstopper, but he has to try and fall back from it. And actually, the defenders are going to use their own one. Kankan's just found another one. Finally, it takes a bazooka to take him out. He's given some essence of hope for Howdon, but Texty was blind. I don't even think he knew that he'd killed him.
I expected to come out of this round and compliment Howdon. A fantastic paranoia and even better decision-making. He made the realization there's a good chance they're stacked up, one above the other, firing squad to take the trade. Blinds the guy down below, takes the fight against the top player.
Wait, where's this one?
Nice. That crosshair didn't stop moving either. It went past him. He just clicked it at the right time. Yeah, I'd love to see this guy. You ever seen those arcade games with the boxes that go left to right? You got to stack them all the way on top of each other?
He'll get banned.
He's out of the arcade 3 minutes in.
They'll just go, we've run out of items.
Hey, that used to happen to me down at the arcade. The coin machines, they'd come over, unplug it. Oh, it's out of order. Oh, sorry about that. Some of those machines, you can game the system, and that's exactly what this guy's been doing here. Texture's 21-12.
Yeah.
I mean, he like I said, he struggled last map. It didn't look too comfortable, but well, a completely different face coming out of him.
Yeah, it is a 3-horse race for top of the board, but he's definitely leading the way. That round from Kankan could have gone down as one of the best. Unfortunately for him, he did get bazookaed, so that's one way to put him down. It seems to be the only way at this stage. 11-5. He seems like maybe the only player that could cause any issues here for GENG, because they now have 6 rounds to the good. Operator on the board for Meteor as well, who has also had a real step up. Bit of a slow start to this game, but that has quickly diminished. And now looking to just almost roam mid. They've got 3 players set up onto this B site. EDG spread. Trying to play this one in a bit of a slower default. Problem is, they've even used ults of their own in the last round. Kankan, I didn't actually notice it. He used his showstopper too, so that's now gone.
Must have been dropped extremely quickly.
I think it was he got showstoppered as he popped his.
Yeah, oh, he did actually blast back up in the air. Yeah, true. Howdong, wrong way. Wasn't looking into the oncoming traffic. That's 3 players swinging out on B main. He doesn't even get the info that there's 3 of them there. It's the worst part. Gets shot in the back. Now you got 2 more players coming through vent, but a reposition from Meteor. He is more than ready for this, but okay, it's the right rope. It's being taken. Textures dropped on B. Now you might start to think it's a B play, although they've just heard them on the ropes. Yeah, now you're sticking around. Meteor's here. He's ready to fight, although they'll give up control up top. It's that not only the scope, but the Blade Storm backing it up that's being activated in Heaven. And EDG, I mean, look, they're playing blind no matter where they go, but as we can see, it might be the wrong decision. Meteor's already considering the rotate.
30 seconds left.
I think we're looking at Khan and what can he find here? He's been stellar, and that's already the star they were looking for, leading the way into the side. He doesn't know there's another man behind him. Will be taken out, but that entry does enough. Puts things into a 2v2. Meteor Blade Storm out, maybe trying to deny any sort of plant, but hasn't been able to. And the rotation coming around from Munchkin, you'd think he maybe wait a moment, but he just does it all himself! Almost disrespectful to his opponents. It's risky, but it works for Meteor.
It absolutely does. He found that space perfectly. And now that's a 12th round with this defuse coming through. It's going to be given to Munchkin.
I thought for a second, I was like, bro, you've just used your ult. You're like, I can get it again.
Yeah, I mean, look, at this stage, I don't know that either of those ultis are going to be online by the end of the game. GENG have been snowballing. And we said it was a dominant scoreline on the previous map for EDG. That was 13-8. Well, here on their map pick, it could be 13-5. And there's a lot of weaknesses coming into this round for EDG.
Well, I think you can just clearly see a confidence difference from the last map.
100%.
Like the fact that Meteor, that is a 2v2. You wouldn't be surprised for thinking it was a 1v2 because Munchkin was still making the wraparound all the way through spawn. He's like, don't worry, bro, I've won the round. Let's go next. Oh, you want the defuse? Oh, hello. That's a bit problematic for Munchkin, but he is going to be able to get out there with not too much of a scrape. And Meteor, this is exactly what I'm talking about. He has Lakia in pocket to help him out here. Smokes could be gone within a second because this man is just not missing. He's now 1 away from Texture, by the way. Both players have been unstoppable.
Yeah, it seems like a formality with the way rounds have been going. The fact that it's a 5v3 and the amount of hero plays that would be needed from EDG to fight their way back into a 7-round in a row. A 7-round deficit. And yeah, it has to be consecutive. I like the idea, sending the really slow play through middle to try to find a gap. They've not seen anyone in vents. Move towards Heaven. Munchkin's in position. He's got one, and not the follow-up. But Khan has another challenge. It's Meteor's up that's come through with a dash still online and a player sitting down below. That's Lakia, who seems to be destined to close this round out. There it is. Not just the round, but the map with it. A 13-5 statement from GENG. They were down and out on map 1, but now we're going all the way to Breeze.
Oh, well, Lakia is definitely having a great time there, right at the end, but that's the thing. You look at this scoreboard. Khan, 22 kills. Texture, 22 kills. Meteor, 22 kills. They all had fantastic performances. The difference is